massive legal immigration issue, Constantine, in the UK, where a year or so ago they worked out that nearly 1 million people in terms of net migration for the year had come into the UK. A lot of it was obviously Ukraine and a lot from Hong Kong and places like that, but a huge number of people, like I say, into a country already creaking at the seams in terms of its ability for the public services to serve the current population. Again, all that does is create a lot of tension. And it turned out the biggest problem was not bringing in like highly skilled people who can contribute well to society and so on, who you want to bring to a country, any country. But they were allowed to bring a huge number of dependents with them. Families of 5, 6, 7 people were coming in with each of the people allowed in. That was the...
So, welcome back to the channel. In this clip, we're going to watch Konstantin Kisin destroy Cenk Uygur. I do not like Konstantin Kisin. I don't. And I hate propaganda. I do. Sorry. I know I inserted myself in there. I am not a promoter of mass migration. I think it's an absolute sin, mass migration. I do believe the UK has their own problems. But, there's just a lot of talking points that get thrown around, and the people never get the real answers. They never do. But, all we say is they're bringing it. They. Well, who's they? So, but in this clip, we're going to watch Konstantin, SHREDS, Cenk Uygur, we'll see what happens, because to be honest, just let's stick with it. Let's watch the clip, and then let's go from there.
Actually, the big problem. But, if you start rising the population of the UK by 1 million a year, very, very quickly, you're going to see the problems we've been seeing massively exacerbated.
Well, let me make just a very brief bit of context, give a very brief bit of context that I think sets the UK situation in a very clear light. We had the Blair government and 13 years of the Labour government then, and then it got worse under the Conservatives thereafter, as you made the point. Under one government, we had more people come into this country than had come to Britain in its entire history. Since the Battle of Hastings in 1066 up until 1950, the number of people that came in under Blair and Brown was higher than the total over 1,000 years.
And that was mainly from Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
Right? So this wasn't a question. This is why when the genuine racists get into this debate, which is always an unfortunate side effect of it, they often come at it from a skin color perspective. It's the brown and black people that are the problem. Actually, as Konstantin just rightly said, in the first part of this century, it was opening the floodgates, quite literally, to a lot of people from Eastern Europe who were white. But that was what caused the initial big problem, I think.
I agree, and I think you then add on top of that the subsequent...
What's up, guys? If you don't know, my name is Justin, and I own this YouTube channel. I'm also a YouTube strategist, and I own a lot of the channels in the political space. I've worked with a lot of the top channels in the political space, and so many people ask me, how do I grow these YouTube channels so quickly? How am I so good at getting results for my clients and for myself? I've actually worked with a lot of the top channels like Russell Brand, Benny Johnson, Lauren Chin, so many of the top YouTube channels in the political space, and I always get asked these questions. How can I also grow my political YouTube channel, or just a YouTube channel in general? And I'm actually doing a free live class coming up on Tuesday, December 2nd, showing you exactly how to grow your YouTube channel and how to make enough money to leave your 9-to-5 job, because anybody can do it. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can do it Tuesday, December 2nd. So if you want the same sort of results as these YouTube channels, such as Justin is Lost, Justin Reloaded, Justin Reborn, The Progressive Way, Bring the Asteroid, Benny Johnson, Russell Brand, Chris on Culture, The Apostle, all these people, they're all either me or they've worked with me in the past. So if you want the same results as them, I'm going to show you how to do it for absolutely free on this live workshop on Tuesday, December 2nd. Make sure you sign up with the top link in the description or the link in the pinned comment. Sign up for that class. There's only 100 spots. So if you save a spot, make sure that you show up so you don't waste the spot. I'll see you guys Tuesday, December 2nd. Click the link in the pinned comment to sign up, and I'll see you there.
Conservative governments, which then opened the floodgates to the rest of the world. And so we've got this cumulative problem. And look, it's very important to say, I mean, there are differences between different groups of people. And so, you mentioned the racism point. Well, we've had tens of thousands of Hong Kongers come in. Do you hear lots of anti-Hong Konger rhetoric in this country? We've had hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians fleeing the war come in. Are you hearing lots of anti-Ukrainian sentiment? No, because ultimately this is a cultural problem. And this point that Brandon made very well. When you have people coming from certain places where, let's be honest, women are considered second-class citizens, if not cattle, then of course you're going to be expecting that some of the incidents that we've seen, whether it's grooming gangs, whether there's lots of other problems that we've had up and down the country. So we also have to be reasonable and actually delineate between immigration, legal immigration, and what we basically have is people coming illegally against the wishes of the British public. And the final point I'll make is this. Both in the United States and here, nobody, and I mean nobody, voted for this. Nobody voted for this. Nobody signed up to this. And I'm glad we're sitting here with the four of us from different political perspectives, and all of us now today agree it's not racist to bring this up. But also, let's be honest, Piers, 5 years ago, bringing these points up would have got you demonized.
We wouldn't have had the debate.
Correct.
I'm sorry, this is laughable coming from Constantine. Like, I'm sorry. Like, am I supposed to pretend? Like, what do you want me to do, guys? I don't know. Do you want me to pretend like, oh my God, that's so... Constantine, like, are we doing this, like, seriously? Like, yeah, okay, I get it, the woke thing and all of that. Bro, check who's on top, who owns the media companies. There's certain things I can't even say right now because I could get this channel. This is not my channel to get banned. Who do you think is doing that? Calling people anti-S? Like, yo, man, are we really ready to have the... It's just like, come on. And yeah, nobody did vote for this, right? You know, but I love how they do. Suddenly people, like, when they want to make their points, it's like, oh, but they're coming from these countries where they treat the women like second class. Man, get out of here. I don't give a damn how they treat them women over there. Like, I don't want the government starting wars in other countries and then bringing refugees over. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. You know? It's just that simple. But let's see what Cenk has to say about mass migrations. I think it does get, see what Cenk has to say about mass deportations. So I think it does get a little bit more spicy. So he's probably against them. By the way, guys, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell. Thank you to every eye that lands on these videos.
And at the same time, especially when your government doesn't deliver for you, as is happening in both Turkey and the UK and America, people get frustrated and go, why doesn't anybody, our government, ever represent us? And now we've got these new folks in, and they might be getting a nickel and a dime, but it's a nickel and a dime more than I'm getting. So that's why that frustration happens, and I understand. And I'm an immigrant, and what I would say to the immigrant community is, and most of us are overwhelmingly grateful, right? And so look, for example, we talk about all the Eastern Europeans that came in the biggest wave of immigration to the UK. My guess is that Constantine's family came from Eastern Europe at some point into the UK, right? But Constantine's grateful from what I've seen. I'm grateful for America, right? And I would tell those immigrants, especially in the UK where they're, for some magical reason, not allowed to work for a year, go to the local church, go to the local community and volunteer. Say, how can we help, right? And get to know people and get them to know you so that people are less alarmed, right? Now, at the same time, I want to say to the folks who are non-immigrants, don't do the demagoguing, right? So on crime, for example, here in America, unfortunately, natural-born citizens are twice as likely to commit crime as undocumented immigrants and 4 times more likely to commit crime than legal immigrants like myself and my family, right? So that doesn't mean that natural-born Americans are somehow worse. It's just these are all different geopolitical, social, and cultural context that leads to those numbers. But are immigrants in the U.S. more likely to do crime? No, they're actually less likely to do crime. So let's be honest about that, and let's be clear about that, so we don't need to demagogue over that. And then in terms of what Tatum said earlier, look, there is no amnesty here. There is no plan for amnesty. If there was a plan for amnesty, why didn't Obama do it? Why didn't Biden do it? The last time we had amnesty was actually under Ronald Reagan. Right. No, they didn't, actually, brother. And so,
the DACA
and right
program
now,
was
the mass deportations, no. And they don't vote. There's all this demagoguing about, oh my God, they're all going to vote. They're all.
He is lying, but I'm not going to let Brandon Tatum take over. Like, honestly, to cover this clip, it's like I have to put a lot of my frustrations to the side. Brandon Tatum is a absolute traitor to this country. I'm sorry, please. Anyway, Cenk is lying. I live in a state where they can get their licenses, and when they get their license, they just hit the button. and to register to vote. Like there's like a button. Do you want to register to vote while you're doing this? And it's like, boop, yes, right? So there's that. Like the thing doesn't ask them where you're from, blah, 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 whatever. So, do you want to register to vote while you're doing this? Yeah, sure, doop. And there it is, right? All right, so there's that. So that, like, stop this, okay? The other thing about the crime thing, what people are going to say, which is a total understandable position, it's my position too, is that we have enough of our own homegrown crime here. We don't need to import more crimes. I don't care if they don't do it as much as the regular citizens, but they don't need to like still come here and add on to the problem. So that's the point that people are making. But again, our country is bringing them in. So I don't believe in going to, Minnesota and getting in people's faces and start yelling at people. Like, that's not going to solve anything. It's not. I don't believe in, I don't believe in any of that, yelling at people or blah, blah, blah. I want to know why this government continues. So right now we're bombing Somalia. Oh, so we're going to bring more Somalians in. Then everybody's going to talk about, Walsh is going to make a video and everything. The Somalians didn't ask to be bombed. Why are we schlepping them over here? Why are we bombing them and schlepping them over here? And people would say, well, we could just bomb them and leave them there. Man, some of this stuff gets a little I don't know, guys. I'm from the era where, like, I feel like God created humans and we shouldn't just be randomly bombing humans looking for the ISIS that we created. I don't know. I just think, like, why don't we just not do the other thing, too? I don't think that we should destroy people's countries and leave them in a war zone so that they can't even survive over there after we did that. So how about we just don't do that? I'm not a hippie. I want the best jets. I want the best everything to protect our country. But we're going to other countries, causing problems, and then bringing the people back. What is going on? And people will say, oh, you hate the country when you talk like, no, I love this country. I'm not a leftist. Don't label me. Don't label me like with these other labels. I don't know these other labels. I don't know about these labels. I'm a Christian. I'm American. I love this country. And I don't think that American brothers and sisters should be used to go to other countries, destroy other countries, and then bring back the people from other countries. Oh, by the way, while they're doing that, they get hurt too. While they're doing that, our American brothers and sisters probably get bombed themselves, come back with limbs missing, they're broken, hurt, everything. Like, people, we have to wake up. Okay. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.